Before I start exporting everything to HTML, I just want to real quickly create a more like simple SVG. So this is just a rectangle, I guess, and I just want to show you this before I start using the planets, because they're round, they have small things like the craters and so on. So that's a lot of extra like pointers, vector pointers that the HTML will have as well. So I'm just doing this real quick, a square one, and then exporting this selection. I want to export this, yes, and I want to have no scaling, just standard SVG, groovy, here we go, and we're just going to call this one green bar. Now, this extension, super, I don't know why it does not able to green stuff. There we go, apparently it doesn't want to go with bar. Anyways, so green stuff is this one I'm going to be using, right? So let's just minimize our Illustrator here and open up our Visual Studio Code. I just cheated and just real quickly created a two files. I'm going to create an index.html, and I also created a SCSS file, so an SCSS file. So that's what we're going to be using here, because in the following videos we're also going to be adding some loops and iterations and all these small things from Sass. So if you want to follow the videos, create a Sass file as well, SCSS file. Here I just put in the standard here, and I'm just going to quickly create a link to my style sheet. So I'm going to put that in my folder called CSS/style, and that's for this for now, and click save. So we have an index file, and I need to navigate to work folder, first semester, animations, and here I want to create my CSS folder. And I want to call my HTML index, because we all know that's the correct name, right? And I want to save my Sass file in my CSS folder, and I want to call it style, like so. And now this is ready, right? So we can just quickly do testing. Super. So let's do that. Right click, open in Finder, and just make sure it works in our browser. Super, there we go. That's great. So, and I'm just gonna remove this from this one, so it's not a lot of cluttering tabs here. So this is my working point, right? And I'm just doing this and this. So now we know this works. And I'm just going to go grab my SVG folder here. So like this, so you have this over, and I'm just going to drag it over here. If I can get it to drag, come on computer. So like this, and now you can see it opens up a new system called in green stuff SVG, and this code here, it created, that's the one we're gonna steal. So we're just going to clean this up a little bit, because it can be a little difficult to see what everything is. So first it starts with an SVG here, cool. So let's hit enter, that's the first one. And the same with style, let's hit enter here. So style ends here, let's hit enter. So it's just a little bit more easy for us to see how it is structured, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So this is up to you if you want to do this. I just do it to make it easier for myself to see it, right? So our SVG starts here, ends here. Our definition starts here, ends here. Our definitions in our case is our style. Right now the style is the fill, so the greenish background is this one here. And then this here is, where'd it go? Over here. This is the one I actually want to show you. This one that says rect, this is the word from the word rectangle, and it's given in a class and a width and a height. So this is fairly simple. And the view box up here is, as you can see there, actually the same. So 96.9, 96.9. That's the actual size, like compared to a div block, right? So if you create a div block that's 96.9 and 135.95, this is the height width up here, and this down here is what the actual SVG object is inside of it. So is it going to the edges and so on and so on. But you can play around with that and test that. What we're going to do, right, is we're going to steal this code. Steal, why do I say steal? We create it ourselves. We're going to take this code and just copy it, go to our index and paste it in. So like this. Let's try this, click save, and go back to our browser and hit refresh. So now we have this mega big SVG. Right now it's just scaling up to whatever it really wants because we haven't assigned any value to it yet. So I don't want this anymore, I'm just removing it. But right now we have it in here. And then we can use style and CSS to start scaling it down, which we'll be going to do in the next following videos.